smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. I've been so my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Masterpiece, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound it surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah.
Thanks, Coach. A bit of a sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Rams.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
And the Chicago Bears.
He's tired of you. He's tired of us.
Derrick Henry. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 14 yards in a Chicago first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Derrick Henry all alone. Touchdown, Chicago. Derrick Henry, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
On the double. 53. Check 53. Here we go.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
Here's Gurley. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A first down carry for Henry. Still on his feet. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run with Henry. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Yellow. Argo 52 to Mike. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to turn you.
Mahomes now on first down. Going for it all. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Robbie Anderson with touchdown number 7 on the year as the Bears push further out in front. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2nd and 6. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down.
Here we go.
From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Out. 6-6. Pull it high. Snap.
He'll look to throw. Caught here by Griffin. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it.
Looking for his receiver, sharp, and it's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it, and the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, it's Henry, and he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
At the 12-yard line.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Now Mahomes. His pass caught at the 4. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
On the ready.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
2nd and 9 now. His throw incomplete. Batted away by the rookie out of Kentucky, Lonnie Johnson.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Brian Burns make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's Henry. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys are playing the inside, those inside linebackers.
This is caught inside the 15. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Robbie Anderson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as the Bears push further out in front. Point after, right down the middle. And the rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
You better bring it.
Here's a 2nd and 7. It's hauled in by Shepard. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackle made by Tyus Bowser. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
On 2nd down, here's Henry. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He wants it all for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Calvin Ridley, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Chandler Jones, one of the best athletes to ever come out of Rochester, New York, in for the sack.
It's second down.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. They'll drop the throw. Got an open man, Keelan Cole. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
All day, every day.
He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. He's got daylight. The 20. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. That pick-6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. He'll drop to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 33. Keelan Cole, the intended target. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
They'll run it again with Henry. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Found his target, it's Anderson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole...
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Yeah, let's get a sack.
Back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chandler Jones able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 39-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Again, it's Henry. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Big stop, let's go.
Now Anderson on the jet sweep. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Incomplete.
Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up the third down. Throwing now is Mahomes. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Carl Lawson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Gurley. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Here we go. 18 Gator.
It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It's John Simon with a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Rolling to his right, and unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Mahomes now on first down. He's going to air one out for Anderson. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Robbie Anderson, 47 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
That's a gain of 13, first down Rams.
And a Rams First down.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a draw play for Gurley. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 36-yard line.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He's got a first step. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From the 39, Mahomes, and Anderson's got it. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a first down for Chicago.
He's not going to get me.
On first down, Mahomes. And caught by Henry. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's got it complete to Anderson. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and take and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
To throw, it's Mahomes. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal?
Let's put that team on the hook.
Mahomes to throw once more. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. John Simon able to record his 5th sack of the season. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Reuben Foster picks it. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And the drive starts with a completion, left side. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Sets him up nicely. First and goal. It was a pickup of 14. Mahomes going to throw it here. That one complete to Anderson. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. 3 yards is the gain that time. Second and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And
give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And there was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message? And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Keelan Cole, the intended target. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Flush to his right. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. The end result, 21 yards. Now Mahomes, maybe a free play. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They decide.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Brian Burns in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Chicago, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0.